too. Yes, sir. All right. Well, at least I'm going to say this, guys and gals, and whoever else is here, since this is kind of a failure at this point. But either way, I just want to say welcome to the 1 year anniversary of Broadcasting Seeds. A year ago, I hit record on a mic and just started speaking. No studio, because I didn't really do video or anything. No media rollout, just conviction. And I need to say something real in a world that was drowning in noise. And I had no idea how many of you were out there listening, searching for something true beneath the surface. So they tell you, and I say I've been in this game for a bit. I've been doing podcasts since 2014. Never like this, but they tell you to never start a podcast unless you've got everything figured out. Right. Funny thing is, the best stuff I've ever done on this mic, it came when I was unsure, wrestling with questions, feeling that nudge from the Holy Spirit, or staring at a stack of declassified documents and wondering how the pieces fit. Right. And now here we are, 1 year. Dozens of episodes, hundreds of hours of research, editing, recording, praying, doubting, and pushing through anyway. For those of you who've been with me this whole way, the show was never meant to be safe. Not culturally safe, algorithmically safe, and certainly not spiritually safe. The show was born in the tension, the thin space between what they tell you is real and what you know in your gut is true. So we've covered cryptids, we've covered conspiracies, we've covered biblical prophecy, supernatural warfare, spiritual warfare, forgotten history, and government cover-ups. The list goes on. And we've gone from Genesis to the Georgia Guidestones, from the Book of Enoch to Black Projects, and from demons to dumbs, right? Dumbs. Deep underground military bases, to discernment. We even launched a secondary podcast called Sasquatch Sunday, which has now turned into Whispers of the Wood Ape on another platform. But either way, because you guys demanded more time in the woods, like literally Bigfoot by itself. Right. And then came the Ingersoll Lockwood episode that I did about Donald Trump. And if there's one episode that set this whole show on fire, at least on YouTube and whatnot, it was that deep dive into the forgotten author who somehow managed to predict the political chaos we're living in over 100 years ago. Barren Trump, time travel, civil unrest, a nation on edge. And regardless of what it means, that all that is, that's not even one of my favorite episodes. And I don't even think it's a good one. But for some reason, the algorithm liked it. So it took off. And that episode struck a nerve, not because it was sensational, but because it made people pause, maybe reconsider, ask that dangerous question. What if they've been hiding the truth in plain sight? I think we all ask that question. But it wasn't all prophecy and portals. The next episode that really kind of took off was an episode on the Phantom Unit, which introduced something even deeper about covert task forces waging war on the supernatural. And whether they really exist or not, I'm not sure. But there's a lot of whispers. And I've got folks, I was in the military for 10 years. So we've got folks that swear up and down this is like stuff with like the Kandahar Giant and Bigfoot and all kinds of other cryptids, Dogman, that the military has dealt with, right? Allegedly. So that episode, it wasn't just a story. It was some stuff that's unexplainable and like dreams and shadows and whispers. And you're not crazy. We're in a war. Most people don't even know is happening, frankly. So this first year is really it's been about planting seeds, hence the name of the podcast, Broadcasting Seeds. Seeds of doubt in the narrative that they give us all the time. The infamous they. Seeds of hope in the darkness, seeds of truth, even when the ground is hard and the soil looks barren. You got to plant those seeds and harvest, right? So not every episode was easy. Some weeks I fought battles behind the scenes, spiritual warfare, burnout, algorithms playing games. But every time I thought about stepping back, even tonight with you guys that are on here right now, who really appreciate it, Treble. So every time I thought about stepping back, someone wrote in with either a DM or a comment, a testimony. You reminded me this isn't entertainment. It's ministry to an extent. And to those who have been here since episode 1, I thank you. To the ones who just found the show last week, maybe, welcome to the mission. And to the skeptics who hate, listen, there's always haters. I see you. You're part of the harvest too, okay? You're part of the harvest too. And to every guest, every supporter, and my co-host, Jewel, who isn't the co-host on this show, but he's a co-host on the other show. But he was supposed to be here tonight, and he is helping out a brother of his, a brother in arms. He was a Marine as well, and this guy's struggling. So that's where he's at, helping this guy out, right? And that's what we're here for. So thanks for being a part of this broadcast. Here's what I promise you in year 2, all right? We will go deeper. Things are going to get weirder. We will speak bolder, and we will I'll never trade the truth for clicks, period. This is a discernment mission, a broadcast from behind enemy lines as far as I'm concerned, a lighthouse in foggy water, and I'm not alone. There's plenty of other folks out here with me doing the same things, all my buddies, all the podcasters, and I don't want to start listing off names because I'll forget folks. I know it. So my apologies, but you guys all know who you are. I talk to you and I see you. And so kind of, a lighthouse in foggy waters and a prayer whispered into the void, trusting it will land in the right ears. So that's really all I've got to say. For some reason, this live, some people can see it. I don't know why I'm not able to get people into it. So that's kind of a fail, but it is what it is. So you folks that showed up for the chat, I appreciate it. Little Seasonist, I've seen your, got to catch it on a rerun. Appreciate it. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. Either way, I think that's what I've got to say. So those folks that showed up, stuff kind of got twisted tonight. My apologies, but I will get this squared away so we can start doing lives more often. I don't understand. Either way, I appreciate it, folks. And this whole thing is humbling. Not just the technical difficulties.
He who controls the mind controls the war. But first, he must silence the noise.
Hey, yo. Straight from the catacombs where the scrolls was hidden, where monks chant verses and the watchman's risen. Broadcasting seeds, son, it ain't just a show. It's a frequency shift from the realm below. Encrypted speech from the outer courts with a bloodline of kings and celestial reports. Got Nephilim tech in a backpack word, while these reptile suits try to censor the word. Yo, I step through portals with the mic as my torch, dropping sermons so raw they send drones to the porch. They surveil what I spit, can't silence the flame. Got angels in camo with encrypted names. We talking black ops and black robes, fallen stars with zip codes, temple scrolls and time codes, beasts with 10 horns in stealth mode. From Mount Hermon to the Grand Canyon vaults, where the Smithsonian buries humanity's faults. But we dig with the pen, slice lies with the flow, like Elijah on the mountain when the fire hit the show. Yo, this is spiritual warfare in stereo, holy scripts flipping through the technicolor burial. No fiction, just friction between realms, dropping bars like prophecy with angelic helm. So when you tune in, just know what it is. It's ancient war drums, not a podcast for kids. It's the Watchtower gospel, wrapped in grit, broadcasting seeds. We the last ones legit. Straight truth, no fluoride filter. Ghost in the wise with the soul of a builder. Welcome to the front lines, the kingdom cries out. So grab your armor, your mic, and cast the doubt out.
I want to sledge from homes that the tatting species sent in as prisoners. It's water, wet and tired trips.